Yo, what is good, my quick crypto family and my coin factory family, back again with another daily Casper and crypto live stream. And boy, oh boy, is the FUD for Casper getting contagious. It's becoming a reoccurring theme now. I'm seeing it every day. People who were once very bullish on Casper are now starting to fade the project and start getting consumed by the bearish sentiment. And I understand it. Casper, of course, is down, 60% from all-time highs, and it's been down for the past 9 months or so, going 10 months now. It is frustrating, of course, but why are we concerned yet? I'm still struggling to understand exactly the reasoning for being concerned from beginning of this year to right here and now. We haven't had anything come out for Casper just yet. We've had a lot of stuff coming, but nothing's out just yet. Not just yet. We are literally 5 days away now from 10 BPS. And then we've got many more catalysts like stablecoins and smart contracts that are coming out very shortly afterwards. And then later on this year, you'll see the following of ZK native smart contracts and so on and so forth. But there's no reason to panic. I still don't understand why. My video later today is going to be kind of talking about the macro. The reason the markets are correcting, the Casper is correcting, is once again macro weighing in on the market. It's not a Casper specific project. It is macro weighing in on the market. We have 2 to 3 significant macro news to cover today, to which I have already informed my VIPs on the certain factors happening that's just taken place today as well, which is again another benefit of being a part of the VIP group. You get to know, what's happening in the markets somewhat ahead of time before we do the live streams here. But we are still extremely early. Right now, Casper is seemingly one of the few projects that are actually up today, not by much, up 0.65% on the daily time frame, valued at 8.8 cents. But once again, those who have been in this community on this stream for the past week, you would have heard me say we managed to get rejected at 11 cents. After being down for so long, we saw a 2x in value. Very, very nice in Casper. We got rejected. There's no way. You have to be realistic here. Casper's not a meme coin, right? And we're not in a FOMO market right now. We're in a Bitcoin dominant market where what really matters are utility tokens. Every single project right now is still down 50%. We're still massively down. We're still in a Bitcoin dominant market. Casper saw a nice 2x, and over the past 4 to 5 days, it's been seeing a correction, as every project does. If you think all crypto is going up, change your mindset. Change your mindset, learn more, because crypto is not just going up. Investing is not an easy game. Otherwise, we'd all be billionaires. We have done very well over the past month. We're now going into May, and as my last altcoin video that I made on my channel stated, I still believe that May is going to be a bullish time for the likes of Sui, Tau, and importantly more so Casper as well. They've got a lot of very bullish catalysts coming out in May. May's looking like a decent month in my opinion for the markets if everything goes according to plan. But again, you could always have these black swan events, these uncertainties that come out at unknown times, which is what happened yesterday. For those who aren't aware, I'm going to get into it in more detail in a moment. Yesterday, there was worries of an outbreak, war between India and Pakistan. Of course, we should know, and if you don't know, you know now, war, even just the headlines of war, are terrible for financial markets. It's great for the war stocks if you're in the war markets, but for general financial markets, it's terrible news. So that's why we saw Casper correct, 8% yesterday, something like that? Yeah, 8% on the daily time frame. Bitcoin equally saw a correction of about 1.5% as well yesterday. The plan has not changed. There's nothing has changed. And I'm going to get into all the information today to hopefully give you an understanding of what's going on in the market right now, why we are seeing pullbacks. Are we cooked? For me, no. Nothing has changed. Nothing. But unfortunately, because we've been down for so long, people are now getting exhausted. And I get it. But we're in a different market right now because not just institutions are involved for the first time ever, they're wanting to incorporate the technology into the back end of a financial system. For people to accept change, there's going to have to be a crisis, a level event, and that's what we're witnessing right now. We are still in a very strong position, in my opinion. Not financial advice, of course. If you are lacking conviction, then by all means, sell, get out. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to give you the facts, the information, and let you, as you're an adult, make your own investment decisions. You can learn a lot more in these streams every day that we do. Equally in the free Discord server, where we chill chat and learn more about crypto in general, and equally in a lot more detail in the VIP group as well. I made a video just yesterday that covered one of the institutional alpha documents. I shared one of my documents that I covered with the VIPs, which ultimately coincided to what KII could utilize and what Kaspa could tap into in the future. Energy with AI. Kaspa could tap into that market. If you want to learn a lot more alongside trading educational videos, trade alerts, and again, weekly live streams, alpha information, and much more, check it out. wop.com/coin-factory, 7-day free trial as well. But I'll circle back to that later on in this stream. First things first, we're going to get into the macro news. Well, I'll say the welcome back to everybody first, then the macro news, then the Kaspa news, and then we'll do a bit of a Q&A. So welcome back everyone to the stream once again. Greg, my man, yo, what's up, QC? Mr. Miles first, close, but you know, I know you mean first whenever you're here. As soon as you're here, then it counts as first, I get you. What's up, Gosu brother? Barca versus Milan. Oh, damn, it is another Champions League game today as well. Can't believe I've done that twice back to back. And the thing is, well, I actually do love football. I play football. So the fact that I'm not locked in to watching these Champions League games just says it all. My whole world is so coerced around financial markets and crypto, which I'm happy with, by the way. Of course, though, touch some grass, probably should do that. But I just tend to ignore what's going on, like the entertainment sports side of things. I watch the basketball games. I've been watching like the Warriors against the Rockets late nights. Where I'm based, it starts around normally like 1 a.m. type of time. So I tend to normally watch those. But yes, welcome back again, Ghosty brother. Thank you very much for joining once again. Having one eye on the game and one eye on the stream. If Barca scores or Milan scores, let us know, please, because I am still interested, but I'm not going to be obviously keeping up with the game whilst I am streaming. What's up, Stuntomer bro? Hope you're doing very, very well. Off to Milan tomorrow. I'll have a great time, my man. Hope you thoroughly enjoy it. Well, hopefully it's pleasure and not business. But if it's business, then either way, still enjoy your time out there. Or Miami, sorry, not Milan, Miami. Either way, you know, America, have a good time there, brother. Just about called the beginning. Hey, welcome back, DC brother. Glad you caught the beginning and hope you have a very, very good day so far. Kryptonia, you too, brother. Hey, welcome back. And you too, Falco. Welcome back, everybody else. Shay, Wing Hong, not Moon yet. No, we've still got time. Eternal Night, everybody. And Nessie, welcome back to the channel. Weather Ranger, as usual, Kaspa is underperforming. Well, according to the market right now, Kaspa's the only one that actually is performing better than anything else. So I don't know where you get that understanding from. Everything right now is underperforming. It's not just Kaspa. It's literally not just Kaspa. Everything right now is underperforming. C from its local high is down 70%. Tau from its local high is down 52%. Algorand from its local high is down 64%. H-bar from its local high is down 54%, and then Kaspa from its local high is down 52%. So, okay, slightly inaccurate there. Let's get it a little bit higher. 53-54%. So by that logic, Kaspa is performing everything else. So how is it underperforming? I'm confused where that sentiment comes from, Wealth Ranger. If you don't like Kaspa, in fact, I know you don't like Kaspa because you come to the channel quite frequently and FUD Kaspa, and I get that. But the facts and the stats say that you're incorrect. That's all I'm saying. What's up, Wyatt, brother? Hope you're doing very, very well. Superior Tech has no influence on price. Fartcoin. I mean, we're not in a market to pump right now. If you're expecting green hills right now, then again, do more research, because right now we have no reason to pump. Right now, we are here. This is literally where we are right now in the markets. We're in the optimism, the bear trap, and right now everybody's getting very bearish. The sentiment's catching up to everybody right now, equally in Kaspa. We are not near the blow off top yet. We are literally here. Nothing, for the most part, nothing is really pumping. Of course, people are still making money in this market through shorting or long in the market, going through meme coins, trading, whatever it may be. There's still opportunities in the market. And in fact, we do trade alerts in my VIP group as well. I'm trying to still make money actively in these markets while learning more and educating people as well. But for the most part, nothing is really pumping right now. There's no reason to do so. And in regards to Kaspa right now, again, we just had a very, very nice rally, a 2x in April, to which I can realise you weren't talking about Kaspa then. And now we've seen it had a, a rejection at 11 cents as expected. And if you were to draw a fib retracement from the bottom to the top here, we're expected to see a rejection around this zone. Look, we're literally hovering around the zone of one of the levels of support. And if we get rejected here, that would be a very good indicator of us seeing a higher reversal and a quicker reversal. If not, then more than likely we'll go down to the golden fib retracement down here between 8 to 7.5 cents, although I'm more optimistic we'll see it rebound above 8 cents because we saw a nice consolidation here before the support. So for me, while it's still possible, I'm more hopeful that we see it rebound above the support here. But again, we don't know what's going to happen in the market. If we have another black swan or on just a random event that causes negative consequences like the war from Pakistan and India, then of course we're going to see correction in the market. So, what's happening to Kaspa right now, there's no need for my belief to be bearish. This is all, if you've been tuning into my streams every single day for the past, however long, but in particular the past week, you've been hearing me talk about the fact that Kaspa right now has done a very nice pump for the month, come up to an all-time high, local high, just short of 11 cents, a 2x in value throughout all of April, which funnily nobody was flooding Kaspa then. But now that it's coming down, flooding Kaspa is popular again. It's come down, which is expected. Of course it's coming down. It's not going to just keep going up and up and up. That is unrealistic. And in due time, in my strong belief, based on the incoming Kaspa and macro catalysts, we're going to see it reverse here and start going up again. End of the day, Kaspa's a very, very strong, fundamentally sound project that's going to be competing and surpassing many other projects in this space. So, of course, people who are, for whatever reasons they have, whether they fear Kaspa, whatever it may be, they're going to FUD Kaspa. Maybe because they don't want it to do well because they sold early. Again, everyone's going to have negative sentiment. That's not by any means me trying to call anybody out. I truly don't care if you hold Kaspa or not. One thing that I think does somewhat get under my skin is people with negative mindsets. While are justified, of course, it's based on either inaccurate or lack of information. For me, from my understanding of, I would say my wisdom, but I'm not that old, but from what I've understood from the markets, knowledge is power. That's a testament to life in general, but equally in financial markets. If you could understand what these certain indicators mean, you'll be able to supersede and surpass a lot of other people in the market, people who get burnt out chasing the pumps and the dumps. You can beat them if you understand what's happening in these markets. You learn more about the markets, learn what the charts mean, learn what the fundamentals do to the markets. Kaspa's had the difference between Kaspa and other projects right now is Kaspa had a 70% correction over the span of 8-9 months. Whereas every other project, your SUIs, your TAUs, your Cs, your Algorand, your H-bars, they equally had a 70% correction, but it was in the span of just 3 months. So it was a quicker correction. Kaspa had a longer one. There's no difference in the correction in price. It's just that Kaspa did it over a longer period of time. That's the only difference. And even then, that's from Kaspa's all-time high. If you're talking local high, where Kaspa did come down, that was still 70%. But other projects like Algorand and H-bar, their all-time highs are still massively down. Yet people are still massively bullish on these projects. 91% for Algorand, and I think Algorand's actually a good project, truth be told, so I'm not trying to slander Algorand at all. 90% for Algorand. XLM, all-time highs back in the last cycle. 65%, that's doing quite well actually in comparison. Hedera, actually did have a new all-time high this cycle. But for the most part, look at other projects, they're all-time highs. Kaspa is in no different boat. So again, for me, the FUD on price action for me really confuses me, because if you compare to other projects, it's doing no different. If you're FUDing Kaspa for other technical or justifiable reasons, then I'll listen and I'll try and learn and understand, and then maybe try and dispute it as well. But otherwise, I have no reason to believe it. Kaspa's doing bad price action, so is everything else. Are we going to cry about it or learn more? That's all I can say. I mean, look again, Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance, 64%. Therefore, Bitcoin's where all the money's going towards right now. We saw it as high as 73 in the last cycle, in December 2020. And if you want to do comparison to Solana, for example, Bitcoin dominance fell off and went down to 39-40% in May. Solana didn't do its 10x pump from 10 to 80 billion until August, till here, when Bitcoin dominance was already down for about, 2-3 months. So by that logic then, for me, if and most likely when Bitcoin dominance does fall off, it'll come down. It's got to be down here for a month or two before the alts actually then start flying. So again, while Bitcoin dominance is still really, really high, I have no reason to be bearish on any of the altcoins. Those who also have been tuning into my channel, and you would have seen, or even better still, you're part of the free community, or better still, the paid one, either or, you would have seen this video, which I played in yesterday's stream as well. This is from Ernst & Young, one of the big four accounting firms, their crypto tax leader, saying that the big banks are all excited for crypto, that altcoins are up next, and then a whispered about capital gain tax exemptions on US-based cryptos. But even the big banks are optimistic for altcoins. They want them to come next. So therefore, Bitcoin dominance, by that logic, is going to come down at some point. And when that happens, the altcoins will pump. Until then, I don't care about altcoin price. I'm stacking the bottoms. Why would I be worried about it? What's the reason to be bearish? Of course, there's still all that stuff that could cause, catastrophic pullbacks. There's still a reason to be worried. And I'm going to get into actually why I've been rambling for 15 minutes now before I go to any of the news. But I have no reason to be bearish right now, not at all. Before I get to more questions, I will actually get into the news now, because I have been going on for too long. So what is happening? Why the market's correcting? What is going on with Kaspa? Are we cooked? Now, my VIPs of the Coin Factory executive, they were aware of this beforehand, as I mentioned it and posted about it earlier. We can see here from Kobe's letter breaking preliminary US Q1 2025 GDP growth comes in at minus 0.3% below expectations of 0.3. I think it's actually meant to be 0.2%, not 0.3. But either way, this here is bad news. This marks the lowest and first negative GDP reading since Q2 2022. This is a bad thing, right? Because confirmation of a recession is when you see a negative GDP growth back-to-back quarters. So you've had now coming in one negative GDP growth. So if it comes in next quarter as well negative, that will result therefore in us having confirmation that we are now officially in a recession. In other news, we also did have the March core PCE price index, which rose to 2.6%, which is expected, which is lower than the previous 3%. So what we are seeing right now from the macro news is this is the first negative GDP reading since Q1 2022 or Q2 2022, which further ignites fears of a recession. But again, remember, two consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth is technically classified as a recession. It doesn't, whether it's really, really negative or not, back to back does classify technically as a recession. And this sounds terrible, but there are some positives here. GDP mainly dropped due to the tariff front running because trade/imports subtracted 4.83%. The government also didn't contribute to the GDP reading for the first time since 2022. So all this negative GDP is because the government didn't contribute to it. It was purely just the US economy. And the big news, which is hopeful, is the Atlanta Fed has forecasted the Q2 GDP, which will come out, end of July, is hopefully going to be plus 2.4%. Now, again, we did have it below expectations already, so it could, again, do the same thing next time around as well. But there's still optimism from the Atlanta Fed. So the negative GDP has caused these dumps in the market today. But at the same time, because GDP is going down and people are getting very bearish about it, this is not good news, but therefore means the likelihood the Fed is going to have to start cutting rates soon to step in to prevent a recession. The Fed's whole job is to prevent recession, to prevent financial outbreaks. That's their whole job. That's what they've been doing since the '08 financial crisis. And even then beforehand, but even more significantly in the '08 financial crisis, what they've been doing the whole time. So if things are looking too dire, Jerome Powell will start cutting rates. And thankfully the core PCE coming down to expected levels of 2.6 is a relief, and that's probably why the markets haven't dumped as heavily right now. Only minus 3.7% in Bitcoin as opposed to potentially what could have been 5% if we didn't have that negative news. That shocked the markets, of course, but is not the end of the world. Things are, for me, still looking up. Maybe still got some very big catalysts for the macro news. We got the job report data coming out in just 2 days' time on Friday. If the jobs are up, the non-farm payroll are up, then that will be reassuring. While the economy evidently is stagnating, negative GDP, we're seeing more jobs being released. Therefore, that also will incentivize the Fed to start cutting rates sooner as well, especially if inflation does come down. But that's also important. The next CPI inflation data is coming out on the 13th of May. Tariffs have just been enforced into America for the first time, or enforced worldwide for the first time. So it's likely that the inflation data coming out on the 30th of May will also be up. Inflation will be up. But if it's not too high up, then that also could incentivize the Fed to start cutting rates as well. Their FOMC meetings is on the 7th of May. So my belief, even though this GDP is down, so the Fed may take some, executive action right now. My belief right now is the Fed are still going to wait on the sidelines this month, but it's going to be a hawkish meeting, kind of giving some hopium that we're going to start seeing rate cuts in June, latest July. We'll start seeing it very, very soon. Now, yesterday we saw a lot of negative price action as well, which yesterday I didn't know why, but I found out today. Again, courtesy of my community. Shout out to all of you who let me know in there as well. It was because of the alleged war or potential war outbreak. Pakistan claims credible intelligence. India is planning an imminent military strike. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of all of it here, but again, we should understand the headline alone is negative for the markets. War is negative for markets, so that is why we saw a massive correction yesterday as well in Casper and crypto. So once more, the markets are coming down. That's not because Bitcoin's doing bad, Ethereum's doing bad, XRP's doing bad, Casper's doing bad. It's not because anything's doing bad. It's because, once again, macro news is weighing in on the markets. That's all it is. That's all it is. And macro's always going to weigh on the markets. All you can do in that regard is just keep locked in, keep learning more, understand how to capitalize on these macro factors. To which, again, my VIP group, we go into a lot of detail about that sort of stuff as well. So I learn more about the space. If you want to find out more, again, check out the VIP group, wop.com/CoinHubFactory. Link down below in the description. Also on my homepage here as well. But things are not looking for me to die right now. Again, black swans are inevitable. They can happen. They can cause a lot of negative sentiment and, people to panic like it's happening right now, evidently. But we are still here. While still pullbacks are still possible, we are here. Again, another key indicator that I've been using more often, again, not a silver golden bullet, but it's still a good indicator, is the M2 supply, the amount of money that's currently swirling around in our economy. M2 supply has us looking like we're seeing a pullback right now, which is what's happening, and then start to seeing a jump up over the next couple of days or so. Starting in May, we'll start seeing it rally up a little bit. End of the day, April has ended. We started April here. So we're still up 40% in April. From absolute bottom to absolute top, we're up over 2x. And now there's still a possibility that we see, in accordance to the Fib retracement, us getting a support here and rebounding up here. We might see, therefore, Casper end May up around 18 cents if it does follow the M2. So again, the M2's got an 80% correlation to Bitcoin, and we're still in a very much Bitcoin dominant market. Therefore, by logic, altcoins will follow the M2 quite closely as well. So all the signs right now still point to optimism, bullish nature. If you're very worried right now, and I get it, has been a very tough market, this one in particular, hold stables. Wait on the sidelines. That's all I can say. It's not advice. It's something that I do myself when I'm feeling a little bit over bearish. But for the most part, when I do, I just research more, loans come to the market, loans come to the space, and therefore increase my conviction again and DCA. All I'm doing is DCAing right now, or trading to increase my capital, which we do again in the VIPs. So I'm not worried right now. And what's also quite reassuring here, which I think is actually the first bit of good news here, is apparently, according to Watch Guru here, just in the United States reaches out to China for tariff discussions, Chinese media reports. Now that's good for me because Trump's been saying a lot of conversations going on between them and China, but China have been saying they're lying the whole time. But if this is true and Chinese media is reporting that the US is reaching out to China to discuss tariffs, that is reassuring news. So again, we'll have to wait and see. Still too early to call it, but that could be reassuring news. In other good news, and once more why I'm still bullish on crypto and Kaspa, Eric Trump says banks who don't embrace crypto will be extinct in 10 years, and that is a fact. It's not an opinion. All the information and the institutional documents and research sources, the alpha information that I cover in my VIP groups, confirm that if you do not adopt crypto, you will be cannibalized. You will go to zero. You'll become obsolete. So yes, and this shift is happening this cycle, this year. And the biggest shift of momentum is happening over the next 5 years. And then after that, well, you'll have the late comers. But if you don't do it in 10 years, you will probably be obsolete and be extinct. You're seeing more adoption coming through. Tower is one of the projects that I hold, a very decent AI infrastructure project, a proof of intelligence. And you've got Grayscale here now, publicizing Tower more and more and more, which of course Wall Street bringing awareness to a crypto project is always very good. That's why Sui's done very well recently. That's why Tower's done decent recently as well. So things are looking up in my belief still for crypto. Of course, me, always the optimist, but the negative news for me, while important, we need to cover it, for me it's still just noise. Nothing's changed. Are we cooked? You could argue right now we're cooked. Are we cooked going forward? No. Me personally, I'm taking this as an opportunity to stack more while the markets are down. My mission through all of this and all of this has not changed that we're seeing pullbacks here. Us Kaspa holders, we've survived all of this. We survived all of this. So now we're starting to see a bit of a pullback now after seeing some nice relief rally here, and likelihood is still going to continue going in this fashion with 10 BPS coming out in just 5 days time. Confirmation that we're going to see some form of integration and potential stablecoins and smart contracts coming out very soon after the hard fork as well. Other developments as well. Why would we be bearish on, what is to come this cycle? So if you're feeling bearish, I challenge you once again, those who are bearish, to check out any project, any major project in the last cycle, while there was less coins last cycle as well. Still worthwhile doing your research on history. Any major project last cycle, Cardano, Solana, AVAX, Litecoin, list can go on, and check what they did in the last cycle, when they pumped, how much they pumped. Most of them didn't pump until August when the Bitcoin dominance fell off and was down for about 2-3 months, and then they started pumping and they pumped 10x in value. So by logic, therefore, with a lot of the catalysts coming for crypto, again, Q3, more so Q4 as well, we might therefore see a lot of, for what I have seen actually, because Eleanor Terrett actually posted about this. I don't think I posted it in my community and I should have done. Eleanor Terrett posted that Eric Balchunas, who is the senior ETF analyst of Bloomberg, he stated right now that the SEC has been pausing a lot of the ETFs, XRPs in particular right now. So his prediction, which of course he is paid to be right on these things, so he has more insight than we do. His predictions right now is a lot of the ETF finals are going to be approved in Q3, more likely going into Q4. So by that logic, therefore, you're going to see the banks who are excited for altcoins getting a lot of their institutional capital aside and ready for the ETFs to then start hedging it quickly, funding it into the space. And we'll see altcoin cycle explode then. So we may see Kaspa, this is just again talking on the potential outcome, we may see Kaspa do nothing or be very lackluster going through into June, July. Maybe even a little bit longer. Again, we'll have to wait and see. We don't truly know what's going to happen to Kaspa. We know big developments are coming through. We know that early adoption will come through as well. Will it be significant enough to start driving price up? We don't know. Will the tier 1 listings come yet? We don't know. But they will come. For me, I'm not remotely worried about it. They will come. And when they do, there's a very strong possibility that Kaspa repeats as volatile momentum that we saw of AVAX, where you saw a 15x from 2 to $30 billion market cap. Which would put Kaspa from where it's at right now to, what, $1.25, $1.30. Kaspa is a very revolutionary cryptocurrency. It's doing a lot of very big things. A lot of their big architectures coming out and will allow the KII with their institutional clients to start launching the Gigawatt stablecoin, the Warp Core, the Asset Mint. You know, there's so many other major projects, the ZETEX. So that's also coming out this year. People are so negative, like being negative is going to help pump the price. I mean, I understand negative. It's human emotion at the end of the day, right? You're human. Emotions are a part of mindset. It's very, very hard to act like a robot and detach emotion when trading. When you got the successful traders are the ones who don't react emotionally, or when they're thinking logically, they're acting on other traders' emotions. Ones who aren't necessarily the most successful traders, who are very emotional, who are very upset if they end up taking a trade that was not the best one to take and they lose all their money. So people are going to be negative, of course. People are going to be finding someone to blame, of course. And of course, you can blame who you want. Blame Trump, blame Mexi, blame whoever you want. End of the day, it doesn't really matter. Either you can sit back and complain about it, or you can, nut up and shut up and learn more. Build your information, build your knowledge, and understand what's coming, and then make sure you don't make the same mistake again. This is what I've learned from the last cycle. I'm not grilling anybody. I don't plan to anyways. For me, when Kappa does well, I'm not going to sit all smug. Like, that's not my goal here. My goal here is just to bring knowledge, to spread knowledge. If you struggle to understand, then that's what I'm here to try and hopefully help do. Even the Discord server there is still there to help try and spread knowledge as well. But at the end of the day, you've got to be open-minded and be willing to learn. Be willing to take criticism as well. That's what I do. When people have come at me as well already, saying that I've done this, that, and the other. There's one that I always remember as well, as someone who called me out for spreading some form of negativity about between Nacho and Kango as meme tokens for KRC20. And I said something incorrect due to my ignorance, not understanding the ins and outs of the two projects. And when I was educated about it, I publicly apologized 5 times. Didn't need to, but I did. As the morally right thing to do, and then also updated the community about what actually is the truth of the matter. And I'm happy I was called out. I'm happy I learned more. I'd much rather be called out for, saying stuff that's incorrect, and so I can learn from it, as opposed to, people just blindly trying to trust me. I don't think anyone should blindly trust anybody anyways. Do your own research, end of the day. Up 30% over the last 30 days, I'm content to hold on for dear life. So am I. Again, we've seen some bad pullbacks over the past 5 days, and again, that's expected. We saw a nice 2x from the bottom to the top here, from April 7th or so up to the end of April 26th. Now I see some pullbacks here, but it's still up 4% in the last month. We're going into May now, where you've got some very big catalysts coming in May that could also incentivize more bullish momentum. Again, if you get more of these sudden outbursts, these sort of news here, then yes, you're going to see more pullbacks. That's inevitable. But Kaspa's got a lot coming forward, and I'll get into that exactly why right now. So one simple message here as well, which I'm sure some people may still be misunderstood about, is for Kaspa newbies or holders, or those who aren't very sure, there is no need to do anything, buy anything, change anything with your existing Kaspa coins. This is a hard fork, yes, but unlike other hard forks, we have to actually, upgrade something manually, or, like with Gala, for example, you had to put all your Gala coins onto an exchange that supported the upgrade. With Kaspa, you haven't got to do anything. There's not a new coin coming out. It's just a literal shift in protocol. Don't have to move it from any wallet. Don't need to upgrade it to anything else as a normal user. As a holder, you have nothing to do but just witness the miracle. Basic information, but apparently not sufficiently understood. Nothing need to be done. You can sit back and watch the magic happen. Also, very bullish news. All entities with significant hash rate are now using the new version 1.0.0 RK node. So we're practically at full mining operation of Crescendo at this point. If you look at the mining operation right now, it's at 98.77%, and that's all of the major ones who control the hash rate. So those who haven't switched over right now are the ones who are just, the stragglers. But for the most part right now, we are effectively at 100% mining on the new nodes, and these ones who are still using these nodes here, either they have to switch in the next 4 days, or they will become obsolete. They won't be able to mine Casper anymore, so they will switch, I'm sure. Although, truth be told, I don't think you're ever going to see a 100% completion, because I think there's going to be some people who are mining Casper just kind of forgot about it, just left it turned off. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But either way, that is very good to see. And as Capital highlights here as well, my design skills are top notch. Jokes aside, ChatGPT here, but he highlights here, once the hard fork happens, then at least 3 projects will be delivering layer 2s that will allow copy paste of Ethereum-like smart contracts. You're seeing Ethereum-like smart contracts coming on Casper very, very soon, and then going into Q3, Q4, you'll start seeing the ZK smart contract, the native smart contracts, which will just elevate Kappa to a new height, if you will. Now, these smart contracts, the Ethereum-like smart contracts, EVMs, they won't happen on the exact day of the hard fork, but after it, and seemingly quite soon after it, based on the Casplex node upgrade. Stablecoins, for example, they could be issued on KRC20 based on the new opcodes created and activated at the hard fork date. So there's a possibility, I'm not optimistic about this truthfully, but there's a possibility you can see stablecoins jump on Casper on the 5th of May as well. I'm more optimistic and think we'll see it probably a few days, maybe weeks afterwards, but you'll see stablecoins have the ability to jump on Casper very, very soon. So the gates will open to have smart contracts on Casper, which will allow builders to deliver apps or decentralized applications on the fastest proof of work there is. Coming after will be ZK opcodes, which is the native smart contracts, Dagnite, and so on and so forth. How long, we don't know. Marcus did say potentially 2025, but I've had people who also believe it will be a little bit longer, because it is still very much in the early stages of, theory. So I have to wait and see. But it is truly what a time to be alive. Casper, yes, price is sucky, but people said the very same thing about many other projects in the last cycle. And then they jumped 10, 15x in value. These are altcoins with smaller market caps. They have more volatile pumps than Bitcoin. Casper by design, yes, different market, less competition and VC backing, I understand that much. But Casper does have some form of institutionalized adoption. It's got very, very groundbreaking technology that is going to be recognized thanks to EVMs. Developers and builders are going to be able to build on Casper, realize the superiority of it, and word of mouth will start spreading around. And when the ZK elements come out and new virtual machines come out, you'll see likely a sudden flood of adoption coming through. More demand for Casper, therefore, as a gas fee on the layer 1 or layer 1.5, and therefore a supply shock and the price will rise. And that's coming out Q3, Q4. For all intents and purposes, we don't know when the cycle top's going to be, but for me right now, cycle top's looking more so like Q4. Chad here, who is I think a member of the Rhubarb Media team, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Rhubarb Media team here right now. He made a repost here and said did some research and offered some reviews from some people smarter than I. And he basically did a little bit of a TLDR on all the KIPs, which is Casper info, the KIPs, which are like Casper native things. I am forgetting the name of what they actually mean. I need to quickly check it in. It's like on the tip of my tongue, but I just can't remember. It is Casper Improvement Proposal. Yeah, okay, I thought so. Casper Improvement Proposal here. So you've got a number here, which are all relatively important for Casper as well. Here's a simply put summary of the KRPs being activated for Crescendo. So you've got the KRP4, which is upgrades Casper difficulty adjustment algorithm, so DAA, and medium time MT systems by making them sparse, meaning they now sample fewer blocks while still covering the same time span. This scales the DEAA by avoiding the need for calculating a window with size that grows linearly with the BPS, which makes the DAA performance independent of the BPS. You've got KRP9, which allows the rule to disincentivize production of dust, thus reducing state bloat. This helps Casper stay lightweight, even if a lot of transactions happen while making dust attacks ineffective. So it makes Casper more secure. KRP9, KRP13 as another mechanism to control short-term storage, making sure temporary data doesn't get out of control. KRP10 as support for basic confidence, and and additive addresses, enabling advanced transaction controls and microtransactions, and upgrades Kaspa's smart transaction capabilities. And the big one, KIP15. KIP15 adds commitments to the order of accepted transactions, which improves proof of publication capabilities for pruned transactions, introduce the accepted transaction archival nodes, facilitating trustless transaction sequencing and laying the groundwork for layer 2 solutions. KRP15 is what allows Labs and Casplex and many more layer 2s, because again, Capital did confirm that they have got other layer 2s and blockchains who are going to be bridging to Casper and the layer 2s. KRP15 is what allows that to be possible. So again, this is what's coming out in just 5 days' time. And as Kappa Silver highlights here, which is just again a testament to where we are with Kappa right now. Price-wise, yes, be it as it may, it's been terrible for a while, but does not mean it's going to be bad for a while. The biggest threat to Bitcoin, Casper, and any other crypto project out there is lack of acceptance in the real world for day-to-day use. SOV, store of value, can only be primary for so long before medium of exchange becomes necessary for longevity. The believers of Bitcoin have taken a this will just work out approach to this issue, constantly hoping someone else will step in and buy more, or be someone who attempts to use it as an actual currency. The majority of holders now simply just buy and hold, never work towards using. So therefore, the Casper community has an advantage in that regard, and we should not become blinded by the price. We should be completely worry-free about what Casper is going to bring in the future, because Casper is the Bitcoin with medium of exchange capabilities. Casper doesn't need to increase the network activity substantially, and every holder has a part in making that a reality. So that's in that regard. Then it's a message from Casper Silver here saying, while we do believe in Casper, we as a community should try our utmost to not treat Casper as a purely store of value, because we also contribute to the network. If we treat it like a pure store of value, then we might see a repeat of what happened to Bitcoin. Maybe less likely, because again, Casper has the speed capabilities to be utilized as a medium exchange, but we also kind of help contribute to the network as well. So Casper again is in that regard very early on, but an increase in network activity will be coming with all of us, with the big upgrades coming through very, very soon as well. And Casper in a few short years will become the network of choice for stable transfers, which is also a very, very big deal as well. Crypto regulation and stablecoin adoption will make crypto 10x in the short term. And, exact multiplier of how much we're going to see an explosion with stablecoin and regulatory frameworks in crypto, tough to say. I'm expecting a big pump, no doubt, with institutional capital quickly flooding into the space following stablecoin adoption and regulatory clarity and market structure bills, but I'm not sure about 10x per se. If it's 10x, then we're sitting on a literal gold mine right now. Casper is going to go parabolic by that logic. And Bitcoin would as well. And everything would as well. But we are still extremely early. Incurred Labs, obviously they're going to be taking place at the Ethereum Dam on the 9th of May. A network with leading technical minds and engaging in discussions on privacy, security, AI, which is the big one, and programmable chain architecture. So that is very, very cool to see. Incurred, of course, building a layer 2 on Casper. So they're taking place in a very big conference in that regard as well in Amsterdam. And then for PA-wise as well, J3 Charts, one of the more renowned TA expert, if you will. Again, I think TA is relative, because, what happened in Casper price right now, while it was somewhat telegraphed, and I've been saying that for some time, the level of pullbacks we've seen on certain days can never be predicted, because again, macro can weigh in on the market, war, negative GDP, whatever it may be. But he highlights what I've been talking about for some time here, which is, there's a possibility we should be looking for entries around this zone here, which is where I've been talking about. I didn't even look at J3 charts for this. And again, I don't clarify myself as a TA expert either. I think I understand enough about TA to devise my zones for entry as well. J3 has definitely made a channel around TA, and he's similarly saying that should be an entry zone. That's a very strong level of support there. We did see Casper again consolidate at this 8 cent zone for over a week, literally touching it every single day before then breaking above it. We're seeing a pullback. For me, this is a very strong level of support now. What was a very strong level of resistance now become a strong level of support. And again, to highlight this Fibber trace, which is not, again, an indicator to live by, but it's a good one. It's a good tool to use. This highlights right now we're at another level of support. And we could potentially see Kaspa rebound off this. While it has seen a wick below to almost 8.1 cents, right now it's trading around this zone right now. So if it finishes around here, that will be very reassuring. And that also then may be an indicator that we start seeing Kaspa make this a next reversal and rebound upwards. Again, we'll have to wait and see. If it follows the M2, then we're looking for a very bullish time with Kaspa, no doubt. From 8.4 to 7.6 is visible if you absolutely need an entry. If Bitcoin corrects from here, which is still how I'm learning, obviously this level will be blown through. Once more again, Bitcoin, we're in a Bitcoin dominant market, so what Bitcoin does, crypto and Kaspa will do as well, and macro can weigh in on the market and Bitcoin as well. So we still are very much at the mercy of Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin is doing very well, trading between the 93,000 zone and the 95 or 96,000 zone. So trading right now, consolidating at the zone right now, which is very, very good. And in the corner to the M2 supply, we are seeing it again. It's once more acting as intended. We should expect to probably see a little bit of a pullback, truth be told, going towards 90k. It's having a period of cooling off. It may come down, and then it'll start doing that reversal and going up again. We just have to wait and see. Pullbacks and crypto behavior are expected, but don't let the price, make you emotional. Don't let the macro and the price therefore affect your trading capabilities, because at the base layer for crypto and Kaspa, the future of where we're going has not changed. And again, if you lack conviction, you can check out the community VIP group for free, 7-day free trial, and just get an inkling into all the information we have in there. We have 14 or 15 weekly live streams that have been recorded and posted in there. You can go through all of them in a week if you wanted to, and learn what we provide in there more so, and get ready for what's coming, because what's coming is very bullish. This market is so early, and I don't think a lot of people have the true understanding of what's coming. The magnitude of what's coming is insane. This is just noise, just trying to shake you out of your bag before they pump the markets. When smart money pumps the markets, they're going to pump the markets. Tier 1s are going to this Kaspa. When? Don't know. It will happen though, in my belief. It will definitely happen. Volume right now, 105 million. It's good. We want to see higher though. We're seeing it, for the most part, almost 10% a piece in Bybit and BitGet, which is reassuring, but it needs to be higher again. Gates come down a bit to 28, which is also better than it being 35. Mexi's gone up to 20% as well, which is not ideal, but again, this has been the same reoccurring dance we've seen for quite some time. Kugel's down at 10% as well. The volume is up a little bit, but we need to see it going into the 500s again, or 600s that we saw back at KRC20 around here. And if you look at the holders address as well right now, we can see even the holders, 5 to 3,000. Also, for the most part, it's still growing. While whales might be leaving, as people have been saying, I don't see them leaving. I see them maybe de-risking, as you would do as a smart investor, but not leaving. We're getting more holders jumping into the project right now. We're seeing more inflows. Hash rate, again, still stagnating around 1 EH or 1 to 1.1 EH, but with 10 BPS almost out, with new miners coming out very soon as well, with more adoption coming to Kaspa through the smart contracts and stablecoins, you'll see miners start turning on as well. The ones that were not profitable right now turning on to help contribute to the network. More opportunity to mine the blocks. So that will also be quite reassuring to see for Kaspa as well going forward. Buy the Kaspa FUD. I mean, yeah, that's as Nathan Rothschild stated, the time to buy from the blood in the water. Warren Buffett, one of the most notorious traders, says him and Berkshire Hathaway and the other global elitists, they hate to see green markets, but they love seeing red markets. They know in those red markets they can buy more. Of course, that mindset is the only one you can have when you're filthy rich. Of course, those with less capital, you want to see green markets so you can actually have some money to play around with. But for me, Kaspa again is one that you can do both with. Play money around with, but also set for the future as well, because Kaspa is in that regard got all the capabilities to be truly the people's money. I'm still slonging Kaspa, shorting at the moment my long position. I mean, yeah, keep the slonging up, brother. That's a very weird terminology. I know what it means, but that is very weird. Welcome back, Leo, bro. Casper Diamond, you know it. I've been holding crypto since 2017. It's taken forever. I held the wrong coins. I played Casper as the right hold on for dear life finally this time. I mean, yes. I mean, that's again, I had similar situation in my last cycle, the 21 cycle, where I also got some bad coins, lost some money. I ended up positive at the end of the day because I was quite fortunate and made some decent gains on like Vulcan Forge. I have a little bit of a soft spot for Vulcan Forge for that regard as well. But for me, Casper is, you know, by and large the right project. You know, I'm not sure what everyone's entries are. I'm not asking how much everyone has. I don't want to know how much everyone has and what their entries are. That's your information for you to know. But Casper for me is going to surpass all-time highs this cycle quite comfortably. And how much higher, I don't know, but it will do well. It will do very, very well as the whole monetary system is shifting to adopt crypto. Casper's going to be a part of that. World War III and bad economic data is going to put the ball in a freezer. You're bearish, World Stranger. I get it. You're bearish, but again, it's by design for me. I'm not worried about it. Woes of World War III have been the same. Woes of World War III and recession fears have been there. They've been about since, you know, since the 08 financial crisis. We've always been worried about it. And while they are higher right now, yeah, obviously, worst case for me, you see a collapse, a black swan, but I don't think that's going to end the market, no. The only thing for me that could definitely end the market is confirmation of a disastrous recession. And while it does seem to be looming right now, the Fed will step in before we get to that stage. So, I mean, I get you're being bearish, and you could argue you're being realistic. And again, I don't think it's a possibility. It's always a possibility, so I'm not, you know, I'm not criticizing anything that's been said in that regard. But I am, I guess, just more optimistic right now. And for me, you know, I've seen the ups and downs. I've seen all the close calls of war, but it's not come to fruition just yet. And I don't believe it will do yet. The India-Pakistani war will remove all the call center scammers, provoking a huge crypto pump. Wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't that be amazing? I get those scam calls so often. It's very, very frustrating. I believe it is more than anything. Oh yeah. I'm the first, Miles, to say something in the chat, therefore I'm first. Sure, whatever you like, sir. 0-2 already for Milan at 21 minutes. Really? Damn, Barca's getting popped. I actually want Barca to win it as well. Actually, do I? Milan's not won anything in ages. I still want Barca. I want Barca to win it because I actually do like Lamine Yamal. As much as he beat England in the finals when he's playing for Spain, that kid is unbelievable. Like, 17 years old, scoring bangers like that for your country and for Barca. Like, I've got nothing but respect for the grind that he has and the skill he has to play football. Casper is a harder correction than most other projects. I suspect it was flushing out the long leverages for 10 bps. Potentially, yeah. I mean, Casper also has a smaller market cap than most as well, so therefore it is more susceptible to volatility and manipulation. Casper right now is sitting at number 43. Comparatively, like Sui sitting at top 11. Tao's a little bit higher as well. Algorand's up a little bit. Hedera's up here. Litecoin's up here. Tao's 32. Omdu 34. Casper 43. So, you know, it's more susceptible to manipulation in that regard. I'm not going to click on that one. I see. I feel like that's one of those, you know, like the spelling out of I cup, right? I don't want to say it out loud because I can't put it in my head if that's like I cup or not. But sure, BB. Casper is underperforming and undervalued. I agree with that. Based purely on the tech, it's worth a lot more than current market price. I mean, we can all agree on that. We can all agree on that, most definitely. And I believe that will be proven this cycle still. It's asking for a lot, with a lot to come through. But again, we are at a $3 trillion market cap before any of the major catalysts of money printing, rate cutting, and regulatory frameworks come through. All of those are still to come in a cycle, coming in the next 3 to 4 months or so. And those will be massive catalysts for the crypto market to pump more so, while still being in a Bitcoin dominant cycle. And then the altcoins will start pumping off, and then you'll see adoption coming to assets like Kaspa. Kaspa doesn't have VC, whales, and exchanges pumping its price and market cap. There are even rumors that exchanges like Mexi even suppress the price. I mean, yeah, there's always been rumors about it. There's been quote-unquote proof about it as well. I've not delved too much into it, because for me, whether Mexi are manipulating it or not, it doesn't really matter, because what can we do about it? All we can say is take your money off Mexi, but, you know, they still hold a crap ton of Kaspa as an exchange. So, end of the day, whether you hold it on Mexi or not, they're still going to manipulate the price of Kaspa if they are. Can't do nothing about that. And even then, no matter where you go, every single asset in this space, and I can, no stats to prove this, but I can say with utmost certainty, every single asset in this space is being manipulated by a higher power, by people with more capital than we do, by an exchange. So complaining about it can only do so much. You know, it's not going to help in any ways. You can vent your frustration. Again, I'm not telling you what to do. Say what you will, do what you will. But, you know, Kaspa has a disadvantage in that regard of no VCs, you know, pumping the price. They do have some whales, you know, 218 whales. But end of the day, for me, Kaspa's still going to do very well. It's just, again, a patience. What's up, DD, bro? Hope you're doing very well, man. Welcome back to the channel. What does Mexi gain for suppressing the price, though? Be able to make more money off it. They long and short people out, and therefore take more Kaspa for people to make more money. We need to accept that the catalyst has been priced in at 11 since 1123. Fulfilled catalysts won't sustain a pump. We need Bitcoin to go parabolic. So like most of the projects. Okay, yeah. So you're saying that the catalyst has been priced in since the 11th of November, which would be, you know, back here, or November 23, which would be back here. I mean, back here. This, I was saying this beforehand. This cycle here for Kaspa, this whole run, this was FOMO run for Kaspa. Seeing it pump from 5 to 15 cents and up to 20 cents, that was FOMO, based on what's coming for Kaspa, how big it's going to be. This here, correction behavior, is just it, again, correcting like every other project has done in the space, and it's corrected back down to the price where it should be at. Kaspa should be at this value. I mean, it should be worth a lot more based on fundamentals, but Kaspa as a project right now, based on its lack of VC backing, which is a positive but also a negative for price, in the short term, it should be down here. Every other project in this space is similarly down 60-70% in value. It's not just Kaspa. Everything's down. When Bitcoin pumps, crypto will pump, then altcoin dominance will come back up, Bitcoin dominance will fall off, and then Kaspa and crypto and alts will pump as well. And then those that are getting utilized by institutions will get even more adoption. ETFs will get them more adoption. And then we'll see how it snowballs from there as well. A friend told me 9 cents is good. You already made a profit. When I told him I'm not selling before, he laughed in my face. Let's see your last. I mean, yeah. People who are obviously, some people will be like, yeah, I mean, some people will just see it as a way to make quick profit, of course, as anyone does do. You got down at 5 cents up to 9 cents. You made it almost a 2x. Very nice. 80% gain. Very decent. You should leverage it even better, although higher risk, higher reward in that regard. But, you know, Kaspa for me, again, is something that is going to be a multi, you know, it's going to be in the dollars, tens, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands in the future. In the cycle, who knows? But Kaspa is a long-term play, and there's still a lot of great benefit for the cycle as well. I try not to say Kaspa long-term play, because I did have someone ask me to stop doing it, and I apologize for saying that again. But I'm just trying to once more reiterate that Kaspa is not it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. But it's saying that crypto is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Unless you're in meme coins and you're casinoing, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a long-term play. And Kaspa will have the last laugh in this cycle. Still, I'm saying it in this cycle. It's going to do it this cycle. I have no reason to not believe that. Really don't. It was a long, healthy distribution. I mean, yeah.
This here was a long and healthy distribution event, as opposed to everything else that dumped quickly from here. Everything else did that. Kaspa did it over an extra, 3-4 month period. That's all it is. I don't do that anymore, brother. I don't do price predictions because, again, it's just... While some people want to hear price predictions, I just don't like doing it. Because I just think for one, adds too much heat on my back. If I, let's just say, for example, $25 Kaspa, which is... I'm not saying that because that's ridiculous. But if I say that and it doesn't hit that, people then going to start calling me a moon boy and a liar. So I, for one, taking heat off my back, but also trying... Because I'm not trying to hold anybody's hand. With respect, we're all adults here. I'm trying to help educate people so they can make their own decisions. Of course, having price predictions can help. If you hear price predictions from multiple different content creators, you can help provide your own zones. So I understand in that regard. Like people talking about Sui being the next Solana, therefore an 80 bill markup, therefore $24 Sui. Again, I understand that sentiment behind it. I'd be surprised if it goes up that high. But I'm not saying it's not possible, I guess. But for me, Kaspa, I refuse to, mention price action anymore because I just think it's just price actions are very. I mean, this whole correction here, people were saying Kaspa was a terrible project because all they cared about was the price. I get it, the price is important because you want to make money off your investments, but it's a toxic mindset to think only about price. What Kaspa's building is going to be more than just price, and the price will go up when it actually gets utilized, and that's going to get utilized in a cycle. So I'm not going to give you an answer about that, brother. I no longer do. The only thing I could say is I've heard analysts say 5 to 10 trillion markup for crypto this cycle. So let's just say 6, that's what I've been saying. Bitcoin takes over 50% of the market cap, therefore 3.5 trillion. So the question therefore we've got to ask is, can Kaspa attain 1% of the total Bitcoin market cap? Which would be 35 bill market cap therefore. Can it do that? That's the question I'm going to ask. Or can it do more or less? So I'm making you still think about it. But ultimately, you've got to devise where's Bitcoin going to go and then determine how much of the markup can Kaspa take from Bitcoin in that regard. Jobs are going to be down for sure. I'm not so sure about the DC because last time they were up 2x. Last time the government said we'll see 127. There are 127,000 more jobs created, and there was 209,000 more. So there were almost 2x more jobs last month. So there's no confirmation we're going to see them go down this cycle, or down this time round. The unemployment was up still, or like it was still worse, like it was 4.4 as opposed to 4.3 expected. So unemployment's still high, but that's taken into account all the government jobs as well. The non-farm payroll, that was up massively, which is really good. So we'll have to see what happens on Friday. That'll be a very important day as well. We need people to realize Bitcoin isn't quantum resistant, and that Kaspa is the obvious successor, can mitigate the quantum threat. Right now, Kaspa is not quantum resistant, but I do believe they're working on elements to make it quantum resistant. After DAG Knight and after Crescendo and after smart contract architecture, they're definitely working on quantum resistance as well. So I think Kaspa will be one of the first to be quantum resistant right now. Shai's been mentioning it in the past. It's not a big cause for concern right now, but it will be in the future. Welcome back, Kaspa Key, bro. You're doing very, very well. We live in a crazy ass world if we believe a Chinese communist news media over a president of the United States, as if China wouldn't lie to save face while they shutter manufacturing facilities. I mean, end of the day, you can believe who you want to believe. All I know is that you've had America constantly say we are talking to China. China saying that's not true, and now China is saying we are talking to America. So now it means that both of them are admitting they're talking to each other. I'm not trying to say I believe China over America. I'm just trying to highlight that one was saying one thing, one was saying the other thing, and now they're both saying they're talking to each other. So evidently now that it's out there, now there's agreement. So I'm highlighting they're both saying the same things. I'm not trying to say I believe China over America at all. Banking wars, here we go. Napoleon, Kennedy, leaders that try standing for the banking cartel. Let's see how Trump do. I mean, we'll have to see. Yeah, it's going to be a crazy, crazy year for us, no doubt. Crazy, crazy year, no doubt. Due to inflation, Mars is no longer free, honestly. I wouldn't be granted my freedom until Kaspa because of $1. Help free me by buying Kaspa. This boss can be stuck forever. Jay said you like proof of work. Now you get to be one, proof of war, not proof of work. Okay. Well, sure. I don't do price prediction anymore. Just leave it at that. I gave a breakdown on, how to potentially figure out what you think the price prediction for Casper is going to be by just looking at where Bitcoin can reach the cycle market cap wise and then determine how much Casper can get in that market. But I'm not doing Casper predictions because, again, it's heat off my back and toxic. Price will move when the smart contract. BPS won't do much of the price. Yeah, also I've been saying the same thing as well. People who are expecting euphoria from 10 BPS, I've been saying 10 BPS is not a catalyst event. It's a milestone. Of course, it's absolutely groundbreaking 10 BPS. I'm not taking that away from it, but 10 BPS is a building block for Capital to have the capability to run smart contracts and run stablecoins at speed superior and if not superior, then the same level as the other proof of stakes. 10 BPS is just a builder, as a foundation block. We're seeing some nice momentum here, fantastic. That could be 10 BPS FOMO, arguably, or it could be manipulation to send Casper higher to get people to buy it more, to sell the miners, whatever it may be. But 10 BPS for me is not a catalyst event. Casper is more likely running up because of the M2 supply, I'd like to believe. Casper came down following the M2. And now it's, going up with the M2. You could argue that again. It's just another indicator to look at. 10 BPS is going to do, it's done okay, arguably, for Casper in regard to pricing pumping the price, but it's not a price pumper. It's a foundation to then start seeing stables coming on very soon, smart contracts coming on very, very soon, and those will actually generate more demand building on Casper, and that will generate more demand, adoption, and that will pump the price. And then think about ZK opcodes as well. Welcome back, Buffalo Theory, bro. Hope you're doing very, very well. Am I a Lambo rich yet? Not yet, brother. Unfortunately, not yet. What's up, Real PG? Game over? Maybe. I doubt it, though. No bull run comes. Too early to call that, man. People were saying the same thing in the last cycle. Look at the last cycle. We were saying the exact same thing back here. We had an FTX collapse. We had COVID as well. We had arguably as worse, if not worse, situation back here than we do right here and now. There's no confirmation the bull run's not here yet, or not coming yet. Like this here, the level of worry here are similar to what we saw down here, but this actually was worse than this right now. So while it's still possible we do get more pullbacks, we're sitting at a 94, 95k Bitcoin, and we're panicking. That's ridiculous. From all-time high of last cycle, which is 69k, which is around here, we're currently up 37% in Bitcoin. That's already good, and it's going to go a lot higher when you get regulatory frameworks. Again, if you want more conviction, you want to understand more so why I don't get bearish, why I don't have a reason to be bearish, come check out the VRP group. The information we provide in there is all the clarity you're going to need in more detail for what institutions of smart money are looking at for why you don't need to be bearish right now. There's no need to be bearish. Of course, don't believe everybody you see wholeheartedly, but what I do in that VRP is I compile multiple sources from loads of different people and showcase what they're talking about, and then we devise our own opinions on that. The same sentiment we're seeing for all the smart money is AI is going to be huge, crypto is going to be huge, the big shift comes after regulatory clarity, and we'll see everything jump on crypto. Big banks are excited for altcoins and crypto. Bull run's stagnating, but we are here. We are literally here. We are in the bear trap. Everyone is getting shaken out right now because they're scared. We are here. We're not even in the optimism, the belief, the thrill, and the euphoria bull part of the market yet. Still got a long way to go. But yeah, with that, I FUD in live chats because I'm a broke. I mean, people go back and forth, fair enough. There will be an alt season when bots like you turn bearish just before then buy back in the top. I mean, maybe. We'll have to wait and see. Just seeing people go back and forth now about price targets and CG and whatnot. Is that majority of the questions? Not most of the questions there. Well, okay, there's quite a few more questions, but I am not going to have time to go through all of that right now, unfortunately. Where am I at in the questions right now? Crazy how Dogecoin is a big market in the crypto than Casper. Dogecoin's been around for a lot longer and has Elon Musk backing. Dogecoin's been around for a lot longer and has Elon Musk backing it. It's not crazy at all. It's actually expected. And now you've got Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency. That's going to also help pump Dogecoin a little bit more as well, just through the combination of names, similarity of names. What about the other trilemma style coins like Blockdad coin? Blockdad coin is a scam. Don't get into Blockdad coin. That has been proven to be a scam. Welcome back, Eldiko. You're doing very, very well. Hi, Jay. I'm here every day to talk much because I'm sad about the price. I feel you. Don't worry about it. Thank you very much again for tuning every single day. And yeah, I understand being sad about the price, but hopefully we'll be hearing your voice a lot more when the price does go up and you'll be happy about the price. Because, I mean, for me, again, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when it will come. I'm sure it will come. I'm very sure it will come. Just looking at more of the questions. People talk about, yeah, a coin that apparently solved the quadrilemma. Yeah, people just making stuff up now. I remember seeing that project as well. I don't know what it's called though. Any more questions? Or just people going back and forth? People just talking about being British. I'll stop saying Z, it's simply Z. I'll say what I want, man. Yeah, it's also a British thing. We say Z. But we don't say EZ, we say easy. Yeah, the British language is probably the worst language in the world. And I mean British, that does also, combine with American, but also I'm talking about English British, because the words make no sense. How words can sound the same and spelled very differently, and then look the same and be spelled like the English language is actually terrible. I do sympathise. Those here, because I know people are in this community here who have learned a bit of English while not being your first spoken language. I have so much respect for you guys. I really do, because the English language is terrible. It is terrible. I do plan to learn another language in my lifetime at some point. I'm not sure which one I'm going to learn. I've got a whole lot to choose from, of course. But I do plan to learn other languages, and it's tough for me because I'm also dyslexic. So I know I'm going to struggle with it. But I know that those who do learn more than one language, you are already, head and shoulders above everybody else. And then those who learn English as well, crazy, because English language is terrible. Absolutely terrible. If the Crescendo doesn't do something for the next FOMC meeting, I'm selling. By all means, go for it, bro. Again, the Crescendo's not going to do anything, though. I'm saying it now. I've been saying it since here. Crescendo's not going to pump the price of Caspa, or at least not significantly enough for it to be, I guess a party. Crescendo is going to be a milestone, game changing, huge. Caspa 2.0 is going to be one of the biggest upgrades in crypto history, letting a proof of work scale to proof of stake levels, and then some, while still being decentralized and secure. But that's not going to pump the price of Caspa, because right now Caspa still lacks the adoption. No smart contract on it just yet. Coming out very soon, very, very soon, but not on it just yet. Stablecoins, again, not on Caspa, but coming out again very, very soon, but not here just yet. Crescendo's not going to pump the price. So if that's the case, you want to sell, then go for it, brother. But I'm telling you now, you're going to sell, get out earlier then, because Caspa can very well come down a bit more from here, potentially. And we're not going to necessarily get a price pump from here. Not necessarily. We could. We have no confirmation as such. Over the long run of the cycle, we're still only in May now. We're going into May now. We've still got 5 odd months left of the cycle. Maybe even longer. We don't know yet. Maybe even shorter. Again, no confirmation. I'm playing reaction to the markets, as you should be doing as an investor. You should always try to play reaction instead of just doing predictions and then just trying to play off your predictions, because it's going to make you get burnt out. Those who think 200k Bitcoin, while it's possible, if you're way up 200k Bitcoin and you can reach that, you'll be holding throughout all the bear market again. Play reaction to the markets. But I'm telling you right now, Marcus, I doubt you're going to see any pumps. So if you want to sell, then sell. Doesn't bother me again. Do what you need to do. Or better still, just research more and have more conviction. That's what I do, at least. 3-3. Wow, I can't believe I missed that game. I should have really not streamed. Honestly, I should have not streamed. I'm gonna have to go and watch all the replays now. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure I have missed some questions. If I have, I apologize, but I am now needing to head off, unfortunately. Once more, 10p is going to be coming up very, very soon. It's not necessarily going to pump the price, but we'll have to wait and see. Kaspa right now is seeing a nice pump today, but we'll have to, again, if we get some unexpected news, that can cause more pullbacks. Friday's going to be a very important day to see how the market's going to perform as well. We're early, so don't need to be worried right now. Don't be emotional, be logical, learn more, keep researching, join the free community to learn more, or in more detail, the VIP group as well, to be more locked in. 7-day free trial, and then of course you can sign up to be more locked in and learn more. But again, it's all there for you to learn and provide a lot in there as well. Speaking of milestones, Jay like throwing stones at me. Yeah, of course I do. I wish I could. Remember, if you don't read your messages, it's not personal. Just you try to do it again, Mr. Mars. I saw it again. Not happening. Mr. Mars is a troll. With that being said, if you enjoyed, leave a like, please share with your friends and subscribe for more. Don't be emotional, be logical. Build your conviction, learn more. It's all by design. Nothing's changed right now. There's no need to be worried right now. Things are going according to plan, I believe. If you want to learn more, check out the free community or even the paid one. This is a macroeconomic bull run based on the rate cuts and quantitative easing. Yes. Macro's weighing on the market right now. Macro means more than fundamentals right now, but fundamentals mean more later on as well. We are only in May. We've still got a lot of big catalysts coming out, not until like August time, like the rate or like the regulatory frameworks. We're not going to moon anytime soon, but we will moon in this cycle. Have a great day, good evening, and good night, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care now.